Now in this video we're going to look at testing using the Learn Thai Alphabet application. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at testing the middle class consonants. All the consonants follow this pattern, but we start with the middle class consonants because it's the first group. And so we've learnt the consonants. We remember this is Galahad Night, G, K. We remember this is Jabberwocky Tail, J or JT or J, T, Dog Treat, and so on and so forth. Okay, so when we're ready to test, we click on Test. Now there are two elements we test. We test the consonant sounds, and we also test the consonant classes. Now we have two consonant classes tests. We have guided and we have unguided. Guided is just to get you used to the consonant shapes, just to get you familiar, okay? And I'll start with this one first. So we click on guided, and then the instructions, all 9 middle class consonants are here, plus 6 high class consonants. Drag and drop them into their respective boxes. So I click on the close button, and here we have the consonants. And if you remember the very first consonant, Galahad Night, we know it's a middle class consonant, okay? So we drag that into the middle class box. We drag and drop. Now, because this is a guided exercise, if I try to drag and drop it into high class, I can't do it. So you will only get the right answer, okay? Similarly with this one, this consonant, I can't drag and drop those in, okay? So I'll do these in order. So there we have Galahad Night, then we have Jabberwocky Tail, then we have Dog Treat, then we have Dog Treat, then we have Damsel Tower, then we have Bald Patch, Bottom Pit, and then we have Awful. And we haven't done the high class consonants as yet, but by eliminating all the low class consonants, that just leaves the high class. Now if I try and drag a high class consonant into this box, again it's guided, so it won't let me. So I'll just finish the exercise like that. Well done. So now we can go on to the unguided version of this exercise. Now this one isn't controlled, so it will allow me to drag a high class consonant in there, and it will allow me to drag the middle class consonant in there, okay? So those are the two kinds of consonant class test. So now we'll go back and now we'll do test on the consonant sounds. Now we can do consonants in order, and this is the order in which you learn them. So we have Galahad Night first, we have Jabberwocky Tail second, and then once you've mastered those, you can then select random order, in which they're all jumbled up. And these are the same for the high class and the low class consonants as well, okay? And then when you want to test on all consonants, once you've mastered the consonants in their respective groups. So we'll start with consonants in order, and then we get Galahad Night, and it says, what initial consonant sound does this make? Well, we know it makes the G, as in Galahad sound. So we type in G. And what medial final consonant sound does this make? Remember, it makes the K, as in Knigget sound, okay? And is this consonant obsolete? There's 44 consonants in the Thai alphabet, but 2 of them are obsolete. They're not used anymore. Now, I'm not 100% sure on the reason why we still have to teach these obsolete consonants, but for now we do. That's what they teach in the Thai schools, so we're following suit. Now, the 2 obsolete consonants, one of them is a high class consonant and the other one is a low class consonant. There are no middle class consonants that are obsolete, okay? So the answer to that would have been no, but there is a timer on this test, so we have to be a little bit quicker, okay? So I'm going to obviously get the first one wrong because I didn't fill in the last question. So we remember this is Jabberwocky Tail. So J, T, and is this consonant obsolete? Like I said, there are no middle class consonants that are obsolete. They're all in use. So that answer will be no. Then I click on submit. And then we come to the next consonant, And if we remember, this one is dog treat from the picture. So that makes the D sound as initial consonant, T sound as a final consonant, and no consonants are obsolete. So no, that's right. And I'll deliberately get the next one wrong because I'll show you what happens when I get it wrong. So I will just put in G and T and no. That's what happened. That's not quite right. This is another dog treat picture, which gives us D as an initial consonant and T as a final consonant. Again, this consonant is not obsolete. And what you do is you follow these through until the end. And I'll get all these wrong because I'm just going to flash through. 3 more to go. And this is the last one. And at the end, it'll tell me that I didn't get them all right. And then I can go back and I can review the quiz. Okay, it's telling me Jabberwocky tail was right. If you remember there, I ran out of time, so I missed that. So that's incorrect, how you did. And then, like I say, after you've done consonants in order, then you can do the random order. And then you can do, eventually, once you've mastered those consonants, you can do all the consonants. The internet's running really slow today for some reason. It's taken a while to update. It's normally faster than that. And then you can do a test on all consonants. And like I say, with the consonant classes, at this stage you know which group they belong to. So you can just start dragging and dropping and putting them in the respective groups. So that's the consonants. When we come on to vowels, vowels are slightly different. And again, though different, we can view them in the order we learn them, or we can view them in a random order. So as before, we start with them in the correct order. And the vowels, the questions we get asked, is this a short vowel or is it a long vowel? Well, it's a long vowel. And what sound does it make? And if you remember the shape, it makes the as in umbrella sound, which we actually write as but the sound is But for the vowels, we need to enter the number of the vowel, okay? Not the sound, we need to enter the number. Correct. And then we come on to the next. And this is a long vowel, but I'm going to put as a short vowel. And the sound that it makes is the I sound. I as in night. And this number 5. And this is going to be wrong. And there, this gives you a little helpful hint of the sound. And then, of course, you have the loudspeakers here. So you can do it that way. And the reason why we put the vowel sound in and we don't put the consonant sound is because the consonant sounds that you're learning and the consonant names that we use to learn the sounds aren't the actual names of the Thai consonants themselves. You can learn that later on when you've got the sounds and the classes and the shapes nailed down, okay? Whereas for vowels it's slightly different because the vowel name is the actual sound that it makes. That's why we have the sound for vowels, okay? So this is another long vowel, but I'm going to put short vowel again, and it makes the I sound, I as in fly. So this is going to be wrong because it's a long vowel. Okay, and that's how we test the vowels. When we come on to other elements of the alphabet, and these are slightly different, you get different questions like the tone marks in order, okay? So if this tone marks appears above the following class of consonant, what will the syllable tone be? Well, if it's a low class consonant, it's actually falling tone. If it's a middle class, it's low tone, same for high tone, okay? And then you get these kind of answers, but it'll all become apparent as you do it. Okay, that's how we do the testing. Thanks very much.